who has the mental chops and the physique to match it. That's what this kind of gives me vibes of. I refuse to explain that further. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a fragrance requested by one of my viewers. It is Asad by Lattafa. One of my viewers requested that I review this and give him my opinion on it. So I tried this for approximately 3 days and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on it. Let's start with the bottle. So this bottle, it's definitely an attractive bottle. It's a black and gold scheme, if you can see it. It is very reminiscent of to me it looks very Egyptian inspired, and it has a lot of flair to it. I really like the design. It's simplistic but also very ornamented. I really enjoy the way it looks. I have two gripes with it in terms of its quality. So the first one is this. When I first got it, this came off pretty much immediately. This little band came off, which you could use for a napkin holder, but it immediately came off when I first grabbed the bottle, which kind of tells me it's a little cheap. They should have adhered it to this and somehow. And the second thing I don't like about this bottle, it's the same with the Yara that I have, is that the top, the cap, feels very difficult to manage. When you put it on, it makes a weird noise. I don't know if you hear that. Let's put it against the microphone. So that strange noise, it makes me feel like I'm gonna break it, or it makes me feel like it's hollow inside. It's 100% hollow inside, but it makes me feel like I'm gonna break it, or that I'm doing something wrong when I put the cap in. So the cap, I wish, was more solid, was more like a solid piece rather than this hollow feeling that it has. Other than that, I think the design is really pretty. I think the design is really elegant. I think the design is really desirable. I think this looks great on a shelf. So let's talk about the juice. Let's talk about what's inside of it. Let's do a spray of it and check out the atomizer. It's a fairly standard atomizer. Off the top, I think you get an immediate hit of spice. So I get an immediate hit of spice. I get an immediate hit of smokiness. Yeah, spice and smokiness is what I get originally from this, with the sweetness that kind of pillows it or cradles it very well. It is a very attractive scent. It definitely leans masculine. It kind of reminds me of men, of club going men, of more sophisticated men, but more like it's an going out smell, is what I would kind of assign it to. I like the general levels that this fragrance has. Like immediately, I can tell there's a lot going on. This fragrance doesn't seem like a one level type of thing. I think it has more than one thing going on with it, and you can tell that as you smell it. It's not flat, and that's a nice thing to have. So like I said, as it opens up, as it starts, there's a hint of pepper, there's a hint of smokiness, and then that is a sweet smell. It's not necessarily vanilla, I think. There's supposed to be pineapple in this. To me, if it does smell like pineapple, it might be like an over-ripened pineapple, so it smells kind of like a sickly sweet pineapple at the beginning. But that goes away very quickly, and it leaves behind that pepperiness and leaves behind that smokiness. And that's more or less what you keep as you stay with this fragrance throughout the day. That's more or less the scent that you're keeping with you, the scent that you're carrying with you for the rest of the day. The tobacco, the pepperiness, and the complex notes that it brings with it to keep it from getting boring. I'm not sure if it's the patchouli, I'm not sure if it's the iris or the labdanum that's in here that's making it complex, but it's an attractive smell. It's something that's, since it's not a flat smell, it's still compelling, and it's still something that is catching attention. If not your attention, it's other people's attention. So it's a fairly nice smell, a fairly nice scent to have with you throughout the day. I enjoy this. In terms of longevity and projection, I wouldn't necessarily call this a beast, but it is no slouch either. It has, I think, fairly strong projection the first possibly 4 hours, where if you enter the room, people will definitely know you're there, but it's not a super aggressive. It lasts about 6 to 8 hours as a medium projection, meaning if someone is within your vicinity, they definitely know you're there. And after that, it kind of dies down into a scent bubble. This never really turned into a skin scent with me. It stayed a scent bubble throughout until I took a shower and washed it off. It never turned into something that was barely perceivable. You could always perceive it, and anybody who was around could perceive it. So this never turned into something that you needed to reapply. So in terms of projection and longevity, I think it's a pretty decent and pretty nice scent for that. Online, it has a rating of 4.26 out of 5 with 6,474 votes. So that tells me that it's a pretty popular scent. Most people online have been saying that they enjoy this, that they're really happy with this, but there's a divide. This is a divide that I see constantly with Middle Eastern fragrances. This is something that I see with dupes, and that's something that you have to like contend with constantly. You have to make your mind up whether you want this for the scent or you want this as a dupe for something else. If you're looking for a dupe, you might get disappointed because dupes will never match one-to-one whatever you're duping. But if you want it for its own thing, if you want it for its own DNA, for what it's bringing to the table as its own fragrance, then this is definitely going to give you what you want, which is that sweet tobacco spice with complexity to make it interesting type of scent. If that's what you're interested in, that male going to the club or going to hang out or going on a date and trying to smell sexy and sophisticated, or smell sexy and maybe on the prowl kind of scent, this is definitely what you're looking for. But if it's like you're looking for a dupe, maybe you're going to be disappointed because it's not necessarily a one-to-one dupe of what you're looking for. My mental image when I use this scent is a combination of a bro scent. So this is like a gym bro kind of scent, or a club bro, or crypto bro, like a bro type of scent, but with a little bit of sophistication behind it. So it's not all like bra kind of thing, because there's some vanilla there, because there's some additional softness in there that sophisticates it. So I think the type of thing I'm thinking about is, this reminds me of those like bookworms kind of guys. So imagine this nerdy guy who is kind of a bookworm, kind of a geek, but then suddenly they take off their shirt and they're like completely shredded, that kind of thing. That's the kind of guy that just reminds me of, someone who's smart but also built, someone who's like, who has the mental chops and the physique to match it. That's what this kind of gives me vibes of. I refuse to explain that further. I think, since I really like the complexity this has, this is not a one-trick pony. This has complexity to it. This has levels to it. And that's what I really like in scents. I love it when scents have levels, when scents have complexity, when scents make me feel things that are different, and I keep going to them, and I keep like trying to pick out what's this and this woodiness and whatever. Since I really like that in this, I rated a high level, and also based on what other people gave me, because people gave me the comments that I got from people were positive mostly. I got a lot of spicy, woody, smoky kind of comments from this, and everybody liked it. And a lot of comments said this is more masculine than I usually wear. I tend to go for the sweeter smells. This is less sweet. This is more masculine. This is not a freshie. I wouldn't call this a freshie. This is more of a spicy. This is more of a woody kind of smell. So I would give this a 9 out of 10. Though, again, this is not necessarily something I would immediately gravitate towards, but I would definitely wear this. Especially if I'm wearing like a suit, or if I'm wearing like a shirt or something fancy, I would probably wear something like this, because this kind of gives off that vibe. I think this seems like an easy blind buy, because this is not very expensive, and this smells pretty good, and I think this would be generally liked by most people. So if you're buying this for its own thing, if you're buying this because of you like the scent profile, the scent DNA, I don't think this would disappoint you. But if you're buying this to be a clone, I don't know if this is gonna match what you expect. So that's my thoughts on Asad by Lattafa. Give me your thoughts, guys. What did you think about this? Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Remember to always smell your best. See ya.